Hello all and happy spring. It's a great time of year here in Texas where the weather is beautiful. This is when I love living in Texas. You can catch me in July and August hating Texas, but this time of year I absolutely love it. It's the time where we can leave the windows open, let the fresh air in, and it's time to do that spring cleaning. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about why spring cleaning is uber important for your brain and for your mind and for your health, and how I think it can help your confidence. Yes, I said it will help your confidence. So buckle up. Let's talk a little bit about how spring cleaning can help you out. Welcome to the Crazy Confidence Coach podcast. I'm Heather Edwards, and I happen to be one of your biggest fans. I'm here to help you become the most confident, vibrant version of you. Look, confidence is not a one and done. It is a constant journey. In this podcast, we cover tips and tricks and ways that you can build your confidence so you can go out into the world with your bold, audacious self. I don't know about you, but I want to live life to the fullest, and that's what we're going to do. So make a choice right now that you're going to be willing to do what it takes. Grab your notebook and your favorite pen and get ready to take notes. Let's go. This is episode 70. I am super excited. I can't even believe that it has been 71 full weeks. I'm actually doing a lot of fun things behind the scenes, doing some spring cleaning when it comes to my podcast, rethinking how I can bring more value to you and hopefully help you build your confidence in more effective and efficient ways and more fun ways. So it should be a really fun summer and a really fun end of the year. I can't even believe I'm talking about the end of the year because we're at the beginning of the year, but nonetheless, I am super excited because I have a lot of fun things coming your way. Today, I'm just talking about spring cleaning. I have no agenda. I just want to talk to you about a few things that I have noticed about myself and how important I think it is to be organized and to have things clean and at your whim and know where you can find things. Because what happens when we're disorganized or when we have lots of clutter, whether it's in our mind or it's in our environment, it causes us a lot of issues. And oftentimes, I don't think we really consider that when we are in that environment. I will tell a story about myself and something that I did for several years, which I still can't even believe I did this, but I have been putting these large pans, they're turkey pans, I guess, and one is a very large cake pan in my oven for storage because we don't have a ton of storage in our kitchen, but I just put it in there when we're not using the oven and I would pull it out when I use the oven. And a couple months ago, I was starting to look around. I made a list of things that were just kind of getting on my nerves or things that were just in my way and I wasn't being efficient, or maybe they were just bugging me, kind of something that's like a thorn and it just bugs you. Well, when I decided to make that list, that was one of the things that always bugged me. Every time I wanted to cook or do something in the kitchen, I had to move those two pans. Now, I didn't think it was a big deal because it was just a few pans. It didn't take a lot of effort to lean in to the oven, pull them out, and put them on my counter to the side and do what I needed to do. And then when I was through with the oven, throw them back in. And half the time, I'll be honest, I didn't even usually wait for the oven to be completely cooled off because they're pans. They can survive a warm oven. But can I just tell you that when I made the decision to either get rid of them or store them somewhere else where I didn't have to touch them all of the time, I know it's going to sound absolutely ridiculous, but it really does change how I feel about being in my kitchen and using my oven. The energy and the way I feel about cooking is very different when I don't have to touch the pans. And it wasn't because it was effort or energy, it just was a little bit of an annoyance. So I want you to consider, what are the things in your life that are annoying you every single day? I have made a list of so many things, and I'm going to give you a few things that I've encountered and have been dealing with, and then maybe you can have some ideas about your home and your environment and your brain and understand how much it can truly impact how you are involved in your space, how you feel every day, and how you're showing up in the world. The first thing, obviously, the oven and the pans, they are now somewhere else and they do not get in my way. I also have a few areas where I have moved decor on the walls and there were holes or those little spacers. And those spacers, although they aren't horrible, they just leave little holes that are pretty noticeable as you walk by them or you see them across the room. I just know that having to take care of those, it would take time and energy and painting and using drywall, patch. So that would end up just taking more time that I wanted to dedicate to it. But that was one of the things on my list. And this last weekend, I actually took care of that. And I can't tell you how much fun or how good it feels to walk into my office where I patched all the holes and then actually painted it over. It looks great. I feel like I have a new room, which is absolutely not true. They're just little bitty holes in the wall. So that's another example of something that was really getting on my nerves, just bugging me just a little bit. And then there are things like stacks of papers and things in my closet, which I've been going through each closet one by one and cleaning it out, getting rid of, making a list of things that I'm going to sell, and just making room for new and making room for me to know exactly where everything is. We've all had the experience where we couldn't find exactly what we needed and you go buy something else. So you're spending money, you're getting frustrated, you have the mental energy that you're spending, you have the mental drain of looking for something and that stress that you feel when you can't find something. But just having your space organized and cleaned and ready for you to do whatever it is you're inspired to do in that space. It could just be sitting in the space. But if you aren't paying attention to the things that are actually bugging you or that are kind of draining your energy, that energy will just be sucked away from you and you truly, truly, truly are not as confident in your space. You don't have the mental energy to be as creative. You're not as inspired. You spend more money because you're trying to make something feel better when you don't even probably understand what you're trying to make yourself feel better from. When you aren't in a clean or clutter-free space, there is just more energy that goes into or taken from you by existing in that space. Have you ever noticed if you walk into somebody else's space that's super dirty or super cluttered, you can't relax, you can't just really enjoy it? That's what I'm talking about. I want you to actually take the time and make a list of all the things that are bugging you or in your way. And I want you to do this with your physical space, whether it's at work, your bedroom, your home, your car, your computer, the digital things that you have on your computer, just all the things that you have to touch that maybe kind of give you a little bit of irk when you have to deal with them. Yes, that's an official word, irk. Anyway, one of my big tasks that I have on my list to do is to go through my emails and my photos. Those two things are my big digital challenge, and I would love tips. So if you have tips for that, absolutely send them my way. But I will tackle that project. It is on my list of things that are really bothering me because every time I open my email or every time I open my photos, I see a plethora of things that I know that I want to deal with. And it bugs me every single time I get on my computer. So that's one of my things that I will be doing in the future. But some of the things that I have been doing in recent weeks or months. Going through past podcast episodes and cleaning out the podcast notes that I have, actually cleaning out different ideas that I have, making sure what I've actually covered, what I haven't covered. I've been going through my office. I'm actually working on voiceover stuff, so I'm actually making my office a little bit more organized. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to patch holes and that sort of thing. So I've already done all that. It feels great. And then I'm also going through things that I just don't use anymore, and I'm getting ready to sell, donate, and get rid of anything that I need to get rid of. Those are the categories I like to use. Either sell it if it is valuable and you want to sell it and get money in return for it. Donate it, and donating could be to a local charity or to a friend or a family member that you think might get good use out of it. And then the last is either trashing it or just getting rid of it if it's something that you just don't see value for. I occasionally will put something out on our front street and just put a free sign on it, and it always disappears. It always amazes me because I might think something isn't valuable, but someone else may find value in it. It is something maybe someone else might like, so I'll put it out and somebody will take it away. There are all kinds of things you can do to get rid of things or repurpose it if it is valuable. The one thing that I have learned or I'm making a list of are all the projects too that I have that I want to do that I haven't been doing or I haven't done, and they've been there forever. Then what I'm deciding to do is figure out which ones that I still want to do and then prioritizing them in a list by 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 so I can get those done. Because what happens is we get really busy, we get cluttered with other things and get just distracted. And when we aren't completing tasks, it really eats at your self-esteem. It eats at your confidence without you even realizing it. Because what you subconsciously are telling yourself is, I don't get things done. I always start things and I don't finish them. Oh, yes, that is something I'll get to later and I just don't, where I didn't take care of something. And that absolutely impacts your confidence about yourself. So today, in the next week, I want you to do me a favor and yourself a favor. Make a list of all the things in your environment, in your car, in your home. Make lists of things that are in your mind that you need to clear out, all of those things, and just commit to yourself, put them on the calendar and start working on them. As you scratch those things off your list, or if you're like me and you like to create a little square and check off the box, then you may really enjoy checking off that box, because that is something psychologically that we really do well with as humans. We enjoy seeing something completed. Make your list, start completing the things on your list, and create clutter-free environment. Create environments that are more inspiring for you or are more advantageous for you to be inspiring. One thing that I have allowed myself to do in the spaces that I am working in cleaning out and getting rid of clutter, is I have allowed myself to bring one thing back in or something special I've wanted for that area and bringing it in. Whether it's color, some kind of, for my office, I actually brought in some artwork that also works as acoustic panels as well, but I love it and it's making me feel super excited about being in my office. So make your list. Actually start to check off your box and clean out, declutter, make your 3 piles, donate, sell, or get rid of, trash, however you need to do that. And then choose 1 or 2 things maybe that are special for that space to bring in. Or sometimes you can rearrange things in other areas to make it feel different and new and alive, because it brings you energy. It brings you lots of confidence when you can go into your space and you can find what you need and you enjoy what you need and enjoy the things in your space. I know this is not the normal format that I use when I usually speak to you, much more about how-tos, 1, 2, or 3, but I was really enjoying the last couple weeks of getting things done. And I realized how important it is for all of us to make sure that we have clutter-free environments, that we spend time detoxing our mind in our spaces so that we can leave space for other things to come in and be more confident in those spaces and in doing what we want to do and have to do. Hopefully you enjoyed the different take on the podcast this week, and come back next Tuesday and we'll be here again. Have a great week. Before you leave, just a little reminder that I am still working on the confidence course that will be soon coming your way, so keep your eyes and ears open for it. I cannot wait to get it to you, and I really do think so many of you will really enjoy it. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you learned something fun. Please take the time to share the episode with your friends. If you haven't already, leave a rating or review. That is so helpful for other people just like you to help find the show. And if you are looking for freebies, I have lots of fun freebies for you at hcedwardscoaching.com, and you can sign up for a discovery call there, or of course, you can sign up for coaching. Again, I appreciate you. I hope you have a very blessed week. See you next week. Love you big.